Hello, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Maxi here, and I am of course back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more Let's Play of Mario Kart Arcade GP2 for the arcade machines, or to be more specifically, the actual emulation from my Wii from the Homebrew channel. So, last time we basically managed to complete the forms of the Yoshi Cup, despite we actually failed on that particular challenge game, but it doesn't matter because it's entirely optional, so you don't need to necessarily try to complete anything unless if you have to. So today for this episode is the fact that we are moving on to the next cup in the game, which appears to be the familiar cup for those of you who ever played the original game before. That's what appears to be the Mario Cup, which that particular cup alone did originally became the first cup on the first game, but now becomes the second cup in this game. So either way, let's pick something new for a change. Let's go for Momenchi right here, and I think she was obviously from the Tamagotchi games, and I think her first appearance was actually, technically speaking, Tamagotchi P1 from the likes of, oh gosh, has it been 25 years ago since when Tamagotchi P1 did actually came out in 1996 nonetheless? Gee, time really does fly, doesn't it? Along with new forms of the Nintendo 64, Nintendo GameCube for 20 years ago, and of course the Nintendo Wii for 15 years ago. So even then though, gee, why time does manage to fly all of a sudden? So anyway, so let's get to it with the Mario Cup, and to begin with, we got ourselves the familiar course ever since in the first game, so we have Mario Highway. So, yeah, I think the entire track plays out exactly the same as before, except now we actually have ourselves the Mario coins laying around, and as well as from that, with Waluigi and Momenchi now joins in the Mario Kart Arcade GP1 tracks. So, yeah, that might be something worth noting for, even though the actual aesthetics and the visuals aren't exactly the same, or are exactly the same, I should say. So either way though, chances are though, it's pretty much identical. So, because originally that I was expecting to call this game Mario Kart Arcade GP Plus, because it's more likely the expansion to the original, but chances are this game is just called it Arcade GP2 for the sake of likely for pretty much the exactly the same gameplay wise, aside from new features and all that stuff. So anyway, a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 28th of November today, in this case in 2021 today, and we literally only got about 3 more days to go until we are approaching to December. So because of that though, yeah, we're actually getting really close to that specific day itself. So even then though, I'm actually so excited for this for the most part, especially noticeable about the fact that I'm sure most people seem to be already excited about this already. So either way though, because chances are, hope you guys may able to be looking forward to that. So I guess there's not much else to say about this, I'm afraid. So anyway, so let's go ahead and keep on moving, while at the same time just keep on getting owned by several items from different opponents, as you can see, such as Bowser and stuff like that. So yeah, that might be something worth noting for the sake of time. So, and of course, just like the forms of it does it on Super Mario Kart, as well as Mario Kart Super Circuit, and especially noticeable with Mario Kart Tour, along with you know, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, in addition to Mario Kart Arcade GP1. Depending on how many coins you'd be collecting throughout the majority of the course, that basically you can able to carry up to quite a few amounts of coins if you manage to collect normal coins, and then that's basically how you can think about it. So yeah, we managed to win, and I got to admit though, Momenchi looks so adorable in 3D, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, usually relatively speaking, I'm pretty sure that the Tamagotchi games also been made by Namco or something like that, or even Bandai, as far as I would like to consider that. So anyway, so let's see what specific unlockable we get this time after collecting over 200. Oh, we got a giant pencil? Oh, okay, that does feel a bit weird. But I'm guessing this particular item I've got is only exclusive to Momenchi. So because of that though, I'm pretty sure what the actual the giant pencil can do, I'm pretty sure it'll act out very similar to the Thunder Stick and stuff like that. So I guess it's not much different from there aside from the aesthetics about the actual item. Okay, so quick error right there, because I somehow managed to realize my game crashed. So as a result though, I have to switch off my Wii for a bit and turn it back on, and hopefully it should be fixed by then, so... yeah, I do apologize for that. So, hopefully we would be able to actually just continue things on from this point right there, and thankfully my game saved, so... that's good news for my part, so no need to able to restart the whole entire thing over and over and over again. Well, and usually because of how the fact that I managed to turn on the mem card emulation turned on. So because of that though, that should be good. Especially noticeable if you if you guys try to play some of these GameCube games downloaded onto Nintendo's app. Basically, you can able to recommend trying to turn that feature on, because obviously if you haven't played any of those GameCube games before, then it's probably best to do that, so anyways, here we go on to the next track, which is of course Mario Beach, as you can see, and yeah, nothing different from the first game than the likes of the second game, so because of that though, it's pretty much exactly the same, so there's nothing different from that. So with all these, you know, aesthetics and all that stuff though, until whenever we get into round 3 and round 4, that I'm assuming that round 3 on Mario Highway is obviously going to be still sunset, and eventually until in round 4 for Mario Beach, it will be still at nighttime. So because of that though, yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same, so... I suppose I forgot to mention about the forms of the Mario Kart Tour. The next tour is going to be up, but I think I'll let Mario will mention more about it until he goes back on to WarioWare Inc. Minigame Mania tomorrow. So because of that though, we'll have to able to let Mario mention more about it on that until then. So either way though, yeah, we're on to the final lap already. So even then though, because chances are that, oh jeez, really Toad? Did you somehow manage to able to, toss the actual, like, shrinkable, tires or something like that? Well, usually that seems the case, as far as I usually concerned with. And yes, much like the forms of Mario Kart Arcade GP1, basically, there's no way you can able to actually look behind. So because of that, though, you have to be, pray to God you don't get very unlucky on certain situations, so... but that's to be expected. And there we go, we managed to win Mario Beach, so not too bad and not too shabby either, despite we get hit on occasional items, but that's okay. So, and we got ourselves a perfect driver rank, so let's rewrite that. So, and of course, we'll get more Mario coins, and let's see how much Mario coins we actually got so far. So, once again, we've got perfect, and of course, since we're in first, so this means you get like 10 coins bonus, so at least if I'm assuming. So, and I believe if you get in second place, I believe you get about 8 Mario coins, and I believe vice versa for even numbers as far as I'm concerned, although I haven't exactly looked onto that much details on this. So anyway, so let's head on to round 3 of the Mario Cup, and as like I mentioned this earlier, we're going back on to the Mario Highway track, but this time it's going to be in Sunset, so yeah, it's nothing different from there aside from the actual scenery and stuff like that, that it looks pretty much exactly the same as before. So let's get to it. Nice little boost start there, and hopefully we would be able to still try to get into first place and all that stuff though, so yeah, that begs the actual part itself. So I suppose I should probably mention about this also, is the fact that this game came out after Mario Kart Arcade GP1 and before Mario Kart Wii, so I was why I classified that for the sake of the actual release time-wise. So because of that though, yeah, that's why I classified that. So, oh yeah, and another thing I would like to mention though is the fact that with the Mario coins themselves, basically those particular Mario coin items will make its return from the likes of Mario Kart Arcade GP DX as well. So, which in that game also just managed to able to actually act out as like occasional like unlockables, for what I've heard, even though despite the fact that I haven't exactly looked upon that much of Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, because I was expecting to try to able to do that game for another Let's Play, but unfortunately though my laptop seems to have struggled to try to run some advanced games and stuff like that. So Unfortunately though, the Mario Kart Arcade GP DX is not gonna happen anytime soon, so I'm afraid it will have to wait, so... Alright, so we're just gonna have to able to keep on drifting along, so... In fact, the drifting system in this game plays out exactly like new forms in the first game, so you're still able to actually just rely on new forms of the timing hop and what have you. But if you come towards that particular, almost towards the edge of that particular curve section, like for instance right here, they have to like jiggle the control stick like a like steering the wheel and stuff like that until you're able to get yourselves a good drift. And then also, if you manage to try to able to use the drifting, you're still able to actually access the shield, so that way it can actually protect you from incoming items, such as for instance shells, and as well as some random items here and there. Like for instance that, well, I'm sure that most people already know about this ever since whatever I already did done Mario Kart Arcade GP1 ever since in March, so yeah, that begs the question for that. And also we got ourselves this particular louder horn item right there, even though I can't really tell with the writing right there, because sometimes the actual small text are pretty hard to read sometimes from my honest admit, so... Alright, so let's see, 277 Mario coins I've got at the moment, and we've got a new Donkey Kong original Kart, so not too shabby and not too bad either, so... And of course the next round is now available, so we can just continue. So, and let's move on to round 4. So, obviously we go back to Mario Beach again, but of course we can now able to select whichever items you want to go for. So, let's go for, yeah, let's go for the tack, and also we'll try to select the giant pencil, and finally, we'll classify for choosing the, this thing here, called, the Star Mic. Well, at least as far as I can usually say about this for the sake of time, so... Anyway, so let's begin with Mario Beach again, but this time in nighttime, like I mentioned earlier, so... Yeah, that usually is as far as I can try to describe it, so... I do apologize if my commentary gets a little bit more bare bones, because there's not much else to say here. But anyway, let's just get ourselves on good boost starts, just like in the first game. You obviously got to able to press the well, let's just say the R button is the acceleration for the most part, because obviously that's well, that's how you essentially get out to able to do some acceleration here. So, and then assuming if the number 1 actually slowly disappears, much like in the first game, then you have to able to time your press the R button until you're able to actually go ahead and, well, get yourselves a good boost start. So, yeah, that might be self-explanatory, as you probably already noticed by now. And also, much like the first game, I forgot to mention about this ever since yesterday, that you once again have to able to keep an eye on with the time limit, because if your time runs out, then obviously you lose the race instantly. So, I suppose I forgot to mention about that briefly for the sake of the first game already. So, yeah, I totally forgot about that misjudged info right there, so I do apologize for that. And obviously that, in addition to able to actually just to let it be about the fact that, well, most of these sound effects are pretty much reused sound clips ever since in Mario Kart Double Dash still, much like any forms within the first game, so, yeah, not much else to say about this here. And I think, if I recall correctly, this is actually the final Mario Kart game to able to feature an old-style font, well, to be more specifically with the title of the game, like as you noticed from the likes of the forms of the title screen, since the forms have been the first episode of this Let's Play. But everything else though, up until this point in Mario Kart Wii and onwards, it goes like almost like a futuristic kind of like logo or something like that. It's kind of hard to explain, because I haven't exactly gone back into Mario Kart for a few days. Mainly because about the fact that we are still waiting for Mario Kart 9 to ever happen, or not, due to the forms of continuous amount of updates for, well, let's just say Mario Kart Tour and all that stuff, which is still happening. So, I'm sure that Mario has already mentioned about this loads of times already, so... Anyway, so we basically won every single races from the likes of the Mario Cup. So, and that means it's time for, what else? A challenge game to go through. Although, first of all, we got ourselves a glorious cup, so that brings us to 2 cups so far, and only 6 more to go. So I believe the next cup we'll hit on to is the Waluigi Cup, so that'll be exciting to see. And we got ourselves the challenge game, which is move giant watermelons, so roll the giant watermelon to the goal and get Mario coin by the distance. So yeah, it's a little bit more different this time around compared to the first game. Well, I say a little bit different because as you can see on the top left corner, unlike the first game, you do have 30 seconds, whilst in here this time around, it's less time this time, mainly for 20 seconds. Well, I'm assuming depending on what version of the game you downloaded or something like that, and also every time you're able to actually let the watermelon go into the forms of that specific, or trying to go over the red lines, that actually represents how much Mario coins you're able to obtain. So, I believe the only maximum you can get up to is 15, at least if I'm assuming that correctly. So, either way though, yeah, we basically accomplished the Mario Cup. So, yeah, I believe we've almost to the halfway point, so yeah, we're actually getting there, folks. Even though despite the fact that we are still uploading these videos in a weekend, so, because obviously we already take a break on the Mario Party games from now on until, you know, next year in 2022, so, alright, 332 Mario coins we've actually got, so, yeah, not too bad. So, I think, suffice to tell you, I think we should probably end things off here. So join me next time on Let's Play Mario Kart Arcade GP2. That is the fact that we are moving on to the next cup, which is the Waluigi Cup. So I'll see you guys on Saturday. Later, fellas.